Good evening, everyone. We're so glad to be joining us here in this place of springtime. We have some interesting energies going, and so let's just talk about those. I wasn't expecting, but I guess it's a reality that, like, in 2016 we had 4 Mercury retrogrades, and in 2017 we will have 4 Mercury retrogrades, because it feels like we just got out of one and we're back going to start the new cycle. And remember, the cycle goes that there's a pre-shadow, which is 2 weeks before Mercury retrograde, and then at 2 weeks afterwards where we're still in the energy. So it's a really wonderful time because it's a wake-up call, paying attention to what's going to come. And Mercury, because Mercury is our messenger, but as we look at it, it's the inner messenger. It's the call from within to communicate and tell ourselves things that we need to hear. It's also a wake-up call around any kind of communication, electronics, car. So we want to make sure everything is, in this pre-shadow time, everything's taken care of, so that during Mercury retrograde, when it's exact, we won't end up on the side of the road like you'll see many people do during that time. The actual Mercury retrograde is April 9th to May 3rd. The pre-shadow started yesterday and then the post-shadow is to May 20th. So we're really talking about the energy cycle from now to May 20th. Mercury retrograde shadow starts, Mercury's in Aries. And Aries is the exciting planet because it's the planet that wants to assert ourselves, wants us to say who we are and how we're moving our life and what action are we taking. And you can hear in my voice there is that intensity because it's a fire energy. So what actions you want to be looking for, what actions need to be taken. How can you be more self-reliant? Because Aries energy is a very self-focused energy, like I'm going to do it, I'm going to be there. But that doesn't mean I can do it myself, independent, or my way or the highway is the shadow side of Aries. Rather, I would encourage us to look at what part of my true self wants to take action, wants to assert myself, what part of myself wants to move, and that can simply be doing exercise or eating 1 extra vegetable every day, or saying no to a negative thought pattern that we have lived in for a long time, like I'm not good enough, it's all my fault, any shame, blame, or judgment. Just saying, I see you and you're done. I see you and I'm finished with you. Thank you, complete. Those are as good at energy, Aries energy action. So it's important to be able to do that. In the actual Mercury retrograde will be in Taurus, which we'll talk about next time, but that Taurus energy, we want to move with the Aries energy, because the Taurus energy gets very stable, solid, and so we want to be thinking, what is the action that needs to be taken as I make myself very solid and very safe and very grounded. So that's the kind of work you'll want to be looking at. Also, very fortunately, we've set this circle tonight on the new moon. Remember, new moon is that place where we get a chance to seed. We get a chance to say, what new projects do I want to do? Where am I breaking ground? Maybe in my emotions or in my outer life or inner life, both. Where am I birthing new forms? And this is because, again, this new moon is in Aries. That same Aries assertion energy is there. So we want to be able to, through the setting the intention throughout today and tomorrow, you want to be setting the intention of, I'm going to go out there and take some action. And realize that you're connecting your firepower within. So some of us don't like the firepower, some of us like it a lot, because it has an intensity about it. And can we allow that intensity to become an energy where it breaks up things, cracks open things, and digests new ideas, breaks them down, letting it have the warmth of food remind us, the warmth of a cup of tea or coffee remind us of this breaking up, digesting fire energy of Aries so that we can develop courage. Because courage is really Aries' biggest asset. Courage is a conscious choice to let go of the familiar, to act in spite of being afraid. So check into your beginner's mind with what they talk about in Zen movement. Remember when you tried something new and it took you farther than you expected. This something new that took you into love, into joy, and into being who you are. This is a quote from Jonathan Ellerby. Don't look further for answers. Be the solution. You were born with everything you need to know. Make a promise to stop getting in the way of the blessing that you are. Take a deep breath. Remember to have fun and begin. This is the energy that we're working with in these next 2 weeks.